Everybody has an opinion.
No, I don't think so.
I employ that bloke for when gigs are going bad.
You look incredibly rock and roll.
How would you cook that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. It's a little bit of weed.
Hey,
Hello.
welcome back.
This is, what episode? 7?
Episode 7, I think.
Wow.
We're getting up there.
This
soon.
is the magic number in podcasting, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. The average, I've heard this, the average number of podcasts that ever get made is 7. So it takes into consideration that people make 1 and people make 400.
Sure.
And 7 is the
Right,
average.
is the average. Wow. So, I mean, I guess people are giving up quite early then. Not giving up, but
Well, they are.
yeah, sucks to suck, I guess.
Yeah.
Not us here
Not
at
us,
This Week
though.
in
We're
Comedy.
7.
We're ready to go for at least another 7, aren't we, Morry?
Yeah, well, at least one more, just so we're over 7.
We'll see how we go. I mean, to be fair, the beer that we've got today, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I believe is 8%. So we may die. This may be our last
8%.
podcast.
It's nothing wrong with 8% of anything.
No.
Yeah.
So,
fine
raw.
wine.
Let's start right with raw
Raw
comedy.
comedy. It's just for those who've just tuned into this podcast, it is the biggest amateur stand-up comedy competition in Australia.
Yes, sponsored by the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. We went on Sunday, past Sunday, to the ESPY, the Gershwin room, which I've performed in.
Yeah.
That's where I did my first heat.
Very good. And SB, again, for those people not from Melbourne, is the Esplanade Hotel,
Yes.
which is a classically old white building, not dissimilar from Donald Trump's West Wing that he's building, I imagine.
Sure, yeah, the grand staircase going up. I can see it.
Don't be rude.
And the Gershwin room is the back room, traditionally for bands, I believe.
Yeah, bands, I think, and obviously it's great for performing. It's a very high stage.
Yes.
You definitely look down upon everyone. Did you do your raw heat there?
No, but I think years ago, in my 20s, I took my girlfriend of the day to the Gershwin room to watch a Sunday comedy there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So we went along. Lots
did.
of obviously people that we know, comedians,
absolutely.
and 2 Hard Knock Knock alumna.
And correct use of Latin. Well done.
Yes,
alumna.
I've been learning. It's because every time I get booked as the alumna, and you're very specific with the alumna. So
That's right. So just for those who are not fluent in Latin.
those of you who didn't study Latin like sad little children like Morry.
Alumna is the female form of alumni. Alumni is the plural, and alumnus is men.
Sure.
Yeah.
But 2 of our alumna at Hard Knock Knock's Comedy School.
That's right.
Kiara,
Ariza, yeah.
and Jorgia Rice.
Georgia Rice, yes. 2 reasonably fresh. I think they've both only been doing comedy for about a year.
Yeah, I
maybe
think
even less than.
Kiara said it was 9 months or something like that.
That's
so,
right. Because we made a joke about giving birth.
Yeah, carrying
at
to
the
term and things like that. You'll hear that in a moment in our interview with them. We spoke to both of the girls before their heats, before their performance, after their performance, I think, and then after they won.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I want to say, as we're about to listen to the before and after, we did record live outside amongst the punters.
Yes.
And it was also a little bit blowy at the St Kilda foreshore that day, so it was a bit windy. But I think you get the gist of how excited both were pre and post.
Absolutely. So let's listen to that now.
I'm here with Jorgia Rice, and she's just completed Raw Comedy Heat 2 at the Esplanade Hotel here in St Kilda. How did you feel?
Great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I haven't done a room that big before, so it was great to have such a nice, big, supportive crowd and feel what that feels like.
Yeah, it looks about, I'd say 60 people, thereabouts. Maybe more.
Yeah, I maybe would have guessed more than that, but I don't know how to count.
Yeah, it could be a lot more. I watched your set. It was excellent. Your surname's Rice. You lean heavily into that food group.
Yep.
How many jokes do you think you have on the topic of rice?
I think I'm at about 4 or 5 now, but I'm sure it'll continue to grow. It's a very nutritious food.
It is. And you've got some great jokes about basami and white rice and all of those. So if you win this, or if you are one of the winners, there's multiple winners for every heat, you'll go on to the second heat, I believe, semi-finals in Melbourne.
Yep.
Makes it tougher in Melbourne because some cities don't have as many heats to get through. You may have to get through 2 to get to the finals. How are you feeling?
Well, to be honest, I didn't even know how it works, so I'm glad you told me. Now I know. But I think it'll be fun. I mean, I'm just doing it as what I'm doing, and wherever I land is where I land. So,
Now, you've been doing comedy for less than a year, I heard.
yes, just under a year. Coming up to a
How
year.
many gigs do you reckon you've done open mics so far?
Oh, I think I'm at about 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's amazing. And you said this is the largest room. As
Yep.
say, I'm probably way off by about 20, so it's probably more like 80.
Yes.
But by the end of the sentence, it's probably 100. It is. And what are your plans for the Melbourne Comedy Festival?
Enjoy it. I'm just
You gonna
going
pop?
through. Yeah.
Are you going to pop in and do some gigs at all?
Yeah, I'll do what I can, but I don't have anything concrete yet. I'm just seeing what happens. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Georgia Rice, good luck on Raw Comedy Heat 2 in St Kilda.
Yes, thank you.
I'm here with Kiara Ariza. No, they got it.
Correct.
Oh, I got it right.
Correct.
Fantastic.
Whatever you want.
The only Spanish I know is "Tu eres muy bonita." Okay, I'm here with Lily Geddes and Kiara, of course, who's just come out of the Raw Comedy
Yes.
Heat. We
Yes.
don't know who the winner is yet.
No.
No, the judges are deliberating right now.
Right now. But I'm still happy with how I went, like, no matter what.
Fantastic. And this would be, what, one of the biggest or second biggest crowds you've ever
Yeah,
performed
probably
at?
the biggest crowd.
Wow. Where was the other one? Or the second biggest?
At the Exford Hotel, I was like 2 weeks into comedy, and I was
Wow,
like,
that
let's
must have
just do
been
it.
last year's international.
It was
Melbourne
last year,
International, yeah.
and it went really well actually, and yeah, I was really happy.
And you're like 9 months into comedy now,
yeah,
right?
one whole baby almost.
Just about to drop that comedy
that's about
baby.
to pop. Thank you. Lily
Amazing.
gave me that joke just because.
Ghostwriter extraordinaire,
Ghostwriter,
guys.
for real.
And Melbourne Comedy Festival starts March 27 or
Yes.
something like that. Any plans?
I will be opening for someone, and I'm gonna be in a lineup for like at the Craftsman's Corner,
Oh,
run
well
by
done.
Drago.
Beautiful.
Yes,
We know Drago.
We just had
interviewed him.
Drago.
Oh, great!
on.
Great.
You're
Yeah, he
also-
won last
Yeah,
week.
he did.
You're also emceeing at least 2 of my girls just
I
want to have
am?
puns.
Oh my
At
gosh.
the Crown Plaza.
Amazing!
Amazing.
I've never MC'd, so
I know. I know you're ready. I think it's going to be
okay,
great.
Okay, cool. All right.
So you do realise that we've set you up for future failure in Raw Comedy because you'll
Yes.
earn more money
True.
and you will be disqualified because it's $800 minimum and you'll be so.
$750 now.
Oh, was it
It's
$750?
$750. They brought it down.
And therefore, that is a caveat
Well, I
to
better get in this
next
round,
year. You
yes.
better win this
Yeah,
year.
better win.
or kind for kind services,
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Maybe what are you? What's your
Exactly.
talent? What's your background?
My background is in princess party entertaining, like you said, acting, that kind of stuff. I'm also a nanny, so I work with a lot of children.
Wow,
Yeah, it sucks.
that's probably where you get a lot of the humour from. Then,
Yeah.
as a mother, you've got to find the funny
I
side.
know. I really need to tell some stories, but I'm gonna have to change some names.
Well, we better get back in there because I believe even Susan Proven, who's the
One of the
exciting.
judges
the
today.
judges today, yeah, that's right. So if she said your name, that'd be amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be so happy.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on the potty.
I'm here with Georgia. She has just got through.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Feels good.
Yeah, only 3, and you were one of them.
That's right.
How do you feel?
Yeah, good. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm keen to get out in the sunshine. It's been a long afternoon indoors.
It
but-
is.
In the air conditioning
Yes.
and cold and
Yes.
Yes.
where comedy doesn't do, but you did it.
Well, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Now enjoy the rest of the next, 24 hours where you're
Go forth.
you're high.
Yeah, that's it. Enjoy it, mate.
Yeah. All
Well
right.
done. Thanks, Georgia. I'm here with Kiara. Congratulations. You got through.
I did. I'm really surprised and happy and just pumped.
Completely unsurprised, honestly.
I was surprised because so me and Georgia are both in the same demographic, so I was like, they only get one of us, but I was like, I think we both should get through because she's awesome as well. And I was
agree.
really happy when they called both of our names. Bye. Sorry.
That's your mum.
I'm doing interview, mom.
Yeah. We've met her before. She's lovely. Well, you should go say goodbye to your mum. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We will be catching up with you
Yay!
on your next heat.
Yay!
Cannot wait to see
I'm
what
so
you're going to do.
happy, yeah.
Congratulations,
Thank
mate.
you.
Back to you in the studio.
So very excited.
Yes, I think I was also very excited there. A few beers, warm sun, lots of good comedy.
It was great. It was great. And again, the SB has been part of Australian and Melbourne comedy for years, you know, since the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah, right. I've heard that it was a big comedy scene and room during the 90s. I was in nappies during that time, so I cannot speak to that.
Yeah, I like I said, I went in on a Sunday, open mic, but they also had comedy show midweek as well. It was really the place to go. If you weren't at the Last Laugh, you were at the Espy.
Yeah.
And I think they're owned by the big conglomerate of Australian venue company. So
our friends AVC.
AVC, they own about 220 venues, so a couple of them are comedy related, as is the Espy and Morris House.
Let's talk censorship in the arts.
You can't say any of that.
I know we've touched on this a couple of times in previous episodes. A bit of a passion subject, I think, for both of us, especially with the Adelaide Writers' Festival and the Bendigo Writers' Festival. Sydney's Writers' Festival at this stage has not been cancelled, but there's been a fair bit of controversy.
Yeah, absolutely. I often use the expression, comedy, in particular stand-up comedy, is the last bastion of free speech. But I think the creative form, written or spoken, is the last bastion of free speech. We just as a bit of a background, so Bendigo got cancelled, much smaller in size. I think 50 of their writers essentially resigned or boycotted. The Adelaide Writers' Festival was a lot bigger. That was 180 people pulled out, and the whole thing collapsed. It turned into not a week, but nothing actually. They totally cancelled it. And of course, it's the elephant in the room is it's all about Gaza.
Correct.
It's all about.
That's what no one wants to really talk about.
That's right. And it was all about the invitation and then the withdrawal of that invitation of a Palestinian Australian. Her name.
Randa Abdel Fattah.
That's right. Now, same reason the Bendigo Festival was pulled. Bendigo Writers' Festival was pulled. Was the same reason the Adelaide. It was the same reason she was disinvited, and that comes from an outside organisation or an outside group outside of Australia. At the end of the day, essentially, not an Australian country.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stepping on eggshells at the moment. Of course,
you can't say that. We can't talk about that.
But it is awful, and we don't have freedom of speech written into our constitution in Australia. But what we do have in Australia is common law, and thanks for the hard work of cartoonists in particular over the many probably 60 years in Australian newspaper. Cartoons, there's enough case law that shows that trying to sue someone for freedom of speech or having an opinion is basically a ludicrous idea. And so rather than sue people for having an opinion, you just pressure the people in power to pull that opinion completely.
Correct. Just censor it completely.
So that's the sad case. Now we are going into the Melbourne International Comedy Festival ourselves. Obviously, there's Adelaide Fringe, there's Perth, which is just moments away from starting. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with the Melbourne International Comedy Festival because Melbourne tends to be, as does South Australia, but Melbourne tends to be very progressive.
Yes.
And the protests against the genocide in Palestine.
Huge turnouts in Melbourne.
Huge turnouts
always.
in Melbourne. And of course, we've got a lot of voices here as well. So,
we have Brunswick. I mean, you can't fight Brunswick, guys.
No, that's right.
The northern suburbs, they're doing all the heavy lifting for the rest of us.
And while the Greens party might have started in Tasmania, it's certainly got a strong hold here in Victoria and Melbourne. So, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm a big advocate for freedom of speech. I think that you should be able to debate anything.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
it's either all okay or none of it's okay. Either you can say everything or you can't say anything. You can't pick and choose what's okay and what's not okay.
And what annoys me probably more so than anything is that these censorships are not coming from within Australia. And a little bit patriotic, I would say. I just don't like being influenced by outside.
Yeah, don't tell us what to do.
No, that's right. And I feel like, because I lived 14 years in China, so I know when I was in China, China was kind of the big boogeyman for many, many years. And if this story was all about China, if it was China pushing the directors of associations and groups, and even the effect of Antoinette Lattouf from the ABC, if it was China doing this, saying you've got to fire this journalist or you can't invite this particular writer, wow. I mean, of course, Chinese embassies would be locked out and they'll be sent home.
That's it. There'd be all the people from Brunswick would be marching on the streets.
That's right. So, I don't think we have the answer specifically in this podcast.
No.
But I think we'll stick to supporting the freedom of free speech.
Freedom of free speech, super important. We do actually have a function on the website where you can record a voice message, and as per freedom of speech, if you'd like, you can say whatever the F you'd like to. We're not going to stop you, and if it's funny, we might even play it here next episode.
Oh, well, fantastic, because I have to go through those. Thanks, Lily. I've got to go through those, and we've had a few crazy ones. Fart noises.
Oh, yeah.
A big common one. But thank you for wasting my weekend as I sieve through these.
Yeah, it's not like you've got anything better to do, right?
No, that's right. So let's keep talking about scandals.
We love scandals.
This one's Queensland, Queensland-based. There's a comedian by the name of Craig Quartermain. He's an Indigenous Australian comedian based up in Brisbane, and he recently got a few, went a little bit viral within the comedy community, and it was in relation to a arts grant that he had applied for in response to a project that he was doing, which was in relation to stand-up comedy courses.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Blacklisted comedy course.
Yeah, that's right. And I think he had reached out. It was a fund called the ATSIADF, which stands for the Arts Queensland's Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Arts Development Fund. My goodness.
Whew.
A long one. And anyway, he got rejected. Now, being rejected is normal part of the course.
Part of the course, yeah.
Part of the course for anyone in the arts industry. But it wasn't that he got rejected. It was the wording that rejection was given.
Right.
And
What was it about?
I'm going to read from the letter. I've got a copy in front of me. So he was rejected, and it simply said, this application has been deemed ineligible because, here we go, the comedy art form is not supported as an eligible activity within the broad range of performing arts outlined in the funding amount and uses section.
Wow.
What did you say?
Is not supported as an eligible activity within the broad range of performing arts.
So they're acknowledging that performing arts encompasses a broad range of different skill sets, but they're saying that stand-up comedy in black and white is not supported as an art form.
No, that's right. So
That's crazy.
So the Adelaide Fringe Festival, which is predominantly stand-up comedy, predominantly. The Melbourne International Comedy, again, predominantly stand-up comedy, not arts. Must be sport.
Must be a sport.
Must be sport.
In which case, why aren't we being funded and why aren't comedians living the high lifestyle of sports players? I mean...
Yeah, the Australian Institute of Sport should be funding the next comedy festival.
Well, I mean, depending on how many beers you have before a set, it can be a bit of a gurn. Maybe training would be required. That's just insane to me to say from a government body to come out and just say in black and white that they don't support stand-up comedy as an art form is wild. I mean, we've always had that feeling in the industry, but to have it put there in front of us is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's as they say, the quiet part out loud. But it's emperor's new clothes as well. It's, we have been within the comedy industry have been saying no one's taking it seriously enough. And everyone's sort of lip serving going, no, it's important. It's important. Well, no, it's not black and white. Have a look at this, which is great. In fact, it's great because now we have a flag to rally behind in terms of the Business of Comedy Conference, right? Which is all about recognizing that comedy in all its, may I use their word, broad forms, broad range, all comedy in all of its broad ranges from sketch comedy to improv to stand-up to written form is important, and it's an art form. That's what we need to do in this step one in this Business of Comedy Conference. Then once that's laid out and everyone agrees and that chapter is closed, we can then work towards actually building the economy as a whole. Wow. So that was a bit of a scandal. So I did get a chance to chat with Craig Quartermain offline, and he said that he was going to be on ABC Radio with Sammy J talking about this particular issue. So this may not be the first time our listeners have heard of the issue.
Yeah.
As the ABC has probably already highlighted it. But it's important, and watch this space.
Watch this space. Alrighty. We've talked a lot about censorship. We're a bit of a heavier episode. I think it's time we crack open a beer, Moz.
Oh, yes. So again, I have walked through the South Melbourne market and headed over to Swords Beer and Wine.
Shout out.
Yeah, and can you pronounce that?
This is Pernicious Weed.
Pernicious Weed. Now, we're talking about a beer here. So before the feds kick down the door, this is a beer. And what's the alcohol?
It is an 8% beer.
2.1 standard drinks.
in 330 ml. It's a gorgeous little can. I love that it's giving like 80s glam rock Little Shop of Horrors sort of. It's very cool. We'll put a picture up.
It's not even 375
No.
mils, and it's 2.1 standard drinks. So imagine if it was 3.75.
Packs a punch. And we've got 2 of these as well.
We've got 2 each. Yeah, I'm not pregnant. You're clear.
Yeah, I'm in the clear.
And also net zero carbon. So we're actually helping the environment by drinking these. Let's do a. Oh, the initial twang. Maybe you need to air it a little bit.
Well,
it's very bitter. It's almost like bitter melon. Have you ever come across that Chinese melon?
Yes.
It's kind of not spiky, but rounded corners. It's a long vegetable, and it's got that bitterness.
Okay,
Wow.
so it's got a lot of fancy words on here, but it says humulus lupulus. I think we've got more Latin potentially. The original wicked and pernicious weed. Nelson Sauvon and Reiku hops go head to head in this strong golden brew for an intense citrus grapefruit character. Bitter? Yes.
Yes.
Intensely hoppy? Absolutely. Too much? Never.
Well,
It's a lot. But I imagine after a few sips, I'm not going to care.
and it's again from our friends over the Tasman in New Zealand. Well done, Tasmania. You are impressive. Garage Project is the name of the brewery over there.
Now, I like to often say when we have our beer, what it might go with.
Well, that could go with that Chinese dish, that bitter melon.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe
Yeah.
like kimchi as well,
Yeah.
like a kimchi, like a Korean barbecue maybe.
That could work. Yeah, that is just like that dish that I said. Great. We'll have a few more of those.
That's it. Well, I believe you have another funny in the moment.
Funny in the moment.
Funny in the moment. You just had to be there.
You had to be there.
So I when I'm not doing podcasts with you, I'm doing a little bit of consulting over in the suburbs. There's an Aldi near the office that I work at, and when I get my pho for lunch, pho, PHO, pronounced pho.
I pronounce it pho.
I believe it's pho.
Okay.
Pronounced pho, and I get one of those buzzers that informs you that the food's ready because it needs about 5 to 10 minutes to prepare. I then go into Aldi, and what am I doing in Aldi? Of course, I'm going to the middle section to see what crazy things Aldi has. And look, this response or this comment I made is not original. It's one that goes around the comedy scene. But as I was walking around, there was an elderly couple. And I wasn't sure, and the suburb has a lot of Greeks there, so I wasn't sure if they were going to speak Greek to each other. So I kind of walked really close, eavesdropped whether they were speaking English to one another, and they were. And then I kind of turned to the guy casually and I said, last week they had jet skis. Yeah. He laughed.
To be fair, it plays on that trope of, that you can find. I've seen crazy shit in the middle aisle at Aldi.
Yeah. But not jet skis, but he had a good laugh. And I reckon he's gone home that day and he said, I had a funny experience at Aldi today and I've made someone's day. That's
it. I think again, we always talk about this. It's not necessarily about being funny. It's about connecting with people. And there's often a laugh in that.
Yeah. And then my buzzer rang and I had to get out of there. And I hate walking out of a supermarket without anything.
You're one of those people, you've got to get something.
Well, you just feel guilty, don't you? Like, why did you come into this supermarket? There's probably, 3,000 items that you could have bought.
You can always tell when someone's not a shoplifter. You feel guilty going out not buying anything. I walk out with my coat pockets full of shit. Just like, hooray, see you next week.
Yeah.
No, I don't steal
You don't do that.
anymore.
No. That's right.
I don't believe you.
Not since the restraining order. So there you go. So that was my little funny in the moment.
Funny in the moment.
You had to be there.
You just had to be there. I'll start getting some of those eventually. I live a very recluse life at the moment. Another woman who was a bit of a recluse, Morry. I don't know if you know this.
I don't know if you know this, kids.
Phyllis Diller.
Yeah.
I've been doing a little bit of research
Tell us about this, because I remember her from maybe growing up in the 80s. But
she was born in 1917.
Okay.
She was one of the first comedians championed by Bob Hope, and she was one of the first people to do comedy like an engineering problem, right?
Right.
So she kept meticulous notebooks. She timed her sets, and this was very uncommon in the 40s and 50s. She would look at the audience, she'd time the audience laughter and work out how her jokes could extend or decrease that laughter, and she kept all these notebooks for other people to read. Very cool, because I personally really like the analytical approach to comedy.
Yeah.
So shout out to Phyllis Diller. I'm going to say that first person to do data-driven comedy was in fact a woman.
There you go.
And that's it. That's all I've got. I mean, the Pernicious Weed, it's kicking in.
It's kicking in. Whew. I wonder if they put weed in. I wonder if they use weed in the process of brewing. Well, we'll have to get to the bottom of that. Now, that's not the end of it, because we want to talk about Sydney.
Sydney.
The winner is Sydney, Australia.
This podcast is proudly supported by Hard Not Knocks Comedy School. And in fact, I'm in the middle of this week in Melbourne. We're doing a comedy course. We're at day 4, actually, out of 5.
Today, on the pointy end.
Yeah, the pointy end. Today we do photos, dress rehearsal. Now I get to be a real prick, you know.
It must be so nice for you to occasionally get to be a prick, Morry.
Yeah, occasionally I do, but it's only one day and it's only Wednesdays, and I feel like it's Broadway. It's like left, step right, come on. You know, I feel like that angry director as they're getting up on stage performing fantastic jokes, but just not timing it right. Or maybe Phyllis Diller. Phyllis Diller? Yeah, Phyllis Diller. Phyllis Diller would be 2 Phyllis Dillers. Yeah. The Latin. the Latin of 2 Phyllises.
The multiple, yeah. A Dilli.
That's right. She should come to the course if she wasn't dead, obviously.
She's dead?
No excuse.
No excuses. Because that's what we do. We're scientific. But more importantly, Sydney. So Bradford Oakes, who is in a sister podcast called Fool Me Twice. Do check that out if you're into lying, deception.
True crime.
It's fantastic. And anyway, so Brad and I will be heading up to Sydney, and we will be part of Bob Stevenson's program for the Sydney Hard Not Knocks Comedy School.
Fantastic.
And
now, Bob Stevenson has a podcast as well.
He does. He's a multifaceted individual.
What a talented man.
Which we will hear about, because I did get to talk to him. And we're going to listen to my interview with him talking about what he does up in Sydney, the rooms that he runs, and, of course, the upcoming Sydney Hard Not Knocks Comedy School.
Awesome.
Let's take a listen.
Good morning, Bob. How are you?
You know, Morry, I'm really well. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and great to see you again.
Great to see you again, Bob. The last time I saw you, you were in Melbourne, and you're back in Sydney. And you are, you're a very busy man in Sydney. You produce comedy, you perform comedy, you produce other people's comedy. Tell us more about those things.
Yeah, sure. So I was one of those people who around about 7 or 8 years ago scratched an itch to do an open mic comedy session. So I did a comedy course with the idea of getting up on stage and doing 5 minutes and then packing it all in. Flash forward, I now write, I perform, I produce shows, I run my own comedy rooms, I run comedy radio on the local Radio Northern Beaches. And I'm also the production director for the Australian Comedy Festival for 2026. So very, very busy, and pretty much everything is comedy in my life at the moment.
Amazing. Australian Comedy Festival. Tell us about that, because it's not just a Tuesday night at the local RSL. This is big, right?
Oh, this is huge. I mean, the word tour is very applicable. I work with a couple of partners on this, Stephen and Michael Hoskins, the Hoskins boys, who've been working on this for many years. I'm the new kid on the block working with them. But basically, the rooms that we work with are typically large venues like RSLs, Leeds clubs, any room venue that's got a capacity of around about 250 seats and above is the rooms that we're dealing with. The format's fairly simple. We have 4 A-list headliner type level comedians, and we have an MC, and we run a 2-hour show. So we bring people who ordinarily would be a solo show performing at festivals or big rooms around town, like the Comedy Store, etc. We put them all together, 4 of them on a stage with an MC, and let them loose on the audience. And it's fantastic. Regularly sold out rooms. Already some of the rooms have been booked for 2026, so places like the Pittwater RSL, which local Sydney people would know about. Juniors over in Redfern, which used to be South's Juniors. That's a 460-seater venue.
Wow.
So we're performing there in April with people like Peter Berner, Tommy Dean, Sean Woodland, Simon Kennedy, and Steve Hoskins as MC. So, yeah, big rooms, big performers, and lots of fun.
Wow. Amazing. Peter Berner, I remember from, he had his own TV show, didn't he, on Channel 2, I believe? And Simon Kennedy, he recently won a Voice Actor Award in the US, of all places.
He did. Very exciting. Simon's a bit of a legend in voiceovers. People would actually have heard Simon's voice without realising it was him. If they've ever listened to ABC Radio or watched ABC TV, they would have heard Simon's voice. But he's a very, very funny, accomplished stand-up comedian in his own right. And it's interesting you talk about Peter. You mentioned about me producing shows. I produced a show for Peter at the Comedy Store here in Sydney back in October. We got about 150 people came to see him do his thing. He ran a solo show for about an hour. So that's the calibre of people that we're getting with the Australian Comedy Festival.
That's fantastic. And Tommy Dean, now I know Tommy Dean because he is going to be performing in Sydney for you and kind of quasi-me as well at the Hard Knock Knocks Comedy Course in Sydney, in Newtown, February 1 to 5.
Correct. Now, Tommy's one of my favourite comedians. I run a regular monthly comedy room at the Quakers Brewery in Manlyvale on the Northern Beaches. And one of the cool things about running your own comedy room is that you can choose who headlines. And Tommy's always a crowd favourite. So not only for me, but for other people. I mean, he's done every TV programme you can imagine. He's been a warm-up artist for the Prime Minister's Australian of the Year Awards. He's been on Gruen. He's been on Spicks and Specks. He's been on Hey Hey It's Saturday. He even, during COVID, check this out, during COVID, he performed to an empty room at the Sydney Opera House to record a set that was then released to cheer people up during COVID. So the stories he's got and his comedy is absolutely fantastic.
And he's an import as well, isn't he? He's an immigrant. He's an American, for those that didn't grow up with him on those shows that you mentioned.
Yeah, he is. If you've never met Tommy or never seen him, to paint a picture, he looks a little bit sort of hippie, a little bit like a Billy Connolly with an American accent. Fun fact, he's very hippie and he's proud of that label. His brother holds a very important role in the defence of the White House, for the security detail of the White House. So 2 very chalk and cheese individuals from the same family.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. And I guess we and I will get to meet Tommy Dean February 1 to 5 in Newtown. And it's in a comedy venue too, isn't it? Tell us about the comedy venue.
So we're running the next Hard Knocks Comedy School from February the 1st, which is a Sunday, through to the 5th, which is a Thursday. It's at the Laugh Inn, which is a well-known comedy room here in Sydney. Which is at the Newtown Hotel on King Street in Newtown. The comedy course, we've sold half of the spots already. So if people are interested in attending the course, whether it's a bucket list or whether they want to perform comedy on a regular basis, just go to hardknockknocks.com to find out more details and to book on the course. But the graduation night, which will be the Thursday, is the opportunity for all of the people on the course to perform their own comedy to a live audience at a comedy venue, which is well respected there. And Tommy will be the headliner. We've got the very, very funny and a very talented Brad Oakes as the MC. He's also the comedy coach during the course. So a great opportunity for people not only to learn comedy, but to learn it from some of the very best people in the business.
That's right. And Mandy Scotney, I think she is coming along, going to talk about the scene, the comedy scene, and she'll come along and also be what we like to call the middle bracket, the end of the middle bracket. So she'll be performing as well.
Yeah, I mean, as well as being surrounded by these people, the veterans, I guess you'd call them, they've been around for decades, where Mandy sort of fits into it, she's got a fantastic amount of knowledge about the local Sydney scene. So she actually writes, she performs, she's a bit of a go-to as an MC for a lot of comedy rooms around town. She runs her own comedy room. So she's a great source of knowledge, not only in how to write and perform comedy, but also what next. I've done my course, I've done a set, I've enjoyed it, I want to do more. Where do I go? I want to do open mics, I want to perform on stage with other people like Mandy. We've also got Steve Hoskins, who runs rooms as well. Plus I'll be there, and of course you'll be there.
I will be there with Brad. Brad and I both from Melbourne, so we'll be. I think he's taking the cheap seat. He's taking a flight. I'll be driving up in my camper van, which I do enjoy, and then I'll be enjoying Sydney for a week. Haven't been to Sydney since I returned from China at the end of COVID, and so the last time I was in Sydney, I was escorted between the airport and the quarantine hotel. So it's going to be nice to come back as a free man in a way.
Yeah, well, we'll have a very warm welcome for you, and again for anybody who wants to watch some live comedy, wants to see the graduates strut their stuff for the first time, or see Brad and Tommy and Mandy perform as well, which would be worth the price of the admission anyway. The tickets are available on the Laugh In website, so just search Laugh In Newtown Hotel. You'll find the website there, and you'll find tickets available for the graduation show, which is on Thursday, the 5th of February.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Bob. Look forward to coming up to Sydney and meeting you again, having a chat. I think you'll be a regular feature of This Week in Comedy, because you are producing so much. And we'll probably talk to you a little bit closer to some of your upcoming shows with the maybe even the Sydney comedy festivals and other shows that you may be producing.
Fantastic. Again, lovely to see you, lovely to chat, and looking forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time in Sydney.
Absolutely.
So that's Bob up in Sydney, and I'll be going up there with Brad Oakes, and that's great. Oh, and I should say that I saw Brad. So Bob actually came down to Melbourne and was part of the Melbourne comedy course with Arj Barker as the headliner, and that was where Kiara Ariza was the returning alumna. And then, of course, recently she's just got through her next heat at Raw Comedy. Now, there's a couple of other hard knockers.
That's right. There's a few who have got heats upcoming, or they've done it. We've got Sharona Radofsky, who she was emceeing in Mentone a while ago. We went and saw her there.
At Cyan. I'm not sure, episode 2 or 3,
Yes.
we talked about that. She's also Sharona Plus, but has she dropped that brand? Or
I think she's dropped it.
Yeah. Okay, so she's Radofsky. Kevin Thackeray. Yeah, I remember him very well. Emily Peel. In fact, Emily is one of the upcoming alumna again, in one of the courses in Melbourne.
Good on you, Em.
David Clarkson. I remember David doing the course. Funny guy. Couldn't remember anything though.
Oh, really?
Had to read everything.
Oh, look, I can relate to that.
Yeah. So good luck, David. Shout out to you, mate. You're going to have to practice because you can't read it when you're on stage. Shamu Sharara, I think it is. Shamu of Indian background.
She did the June. I know that because you're still waiting on a video that I did. I've got
That's right.
about 5 hours of B-roll of Shamu, and she looks gorgeous.
She does. She's definitely got a great face for TV, and that was with Jamoan, wasn't it?
That was a great.
Yeah, and Sabina Willis. Sabina will be doing that, and there are other alumni out there. In fact, I know Paul. We met Paul at Espy. Mm-hmm. And he's on as well, which is not on that list.
Yes, so we will put together a big master list of everybody. If you are a Hard Knock Knocks alumna or alumnus, and we didn't talk about you this year, please write in, let us know.
Yeah, fantastic. So great! It's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to 2026.
It is. It's a big year. It's all warming up. Comedy, Melbourne International Comedy Festival's around the corner. I think it's going to be a great year for comedy.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, I'll see you next week for the magic episode 8. But this is episode 7
of
This Week in Comedy.
That bloke when gigs are going bad.
You look incredibly rock and roll. How would you cook that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. It's a little bit of weed.